This is a common rural scene in the 1950s with a local steam freight crossing a simple county highway junction near a last chance gas station on the very edge of a small town. This model was inspired by a July 1988 article in the old Railroad Model Craftsman magazine that featured building a replica of an actual rural Depression-era gas station. The magazine article's author, Brian Rudko, found some great photographs in a book called Taken by the Wind, Vanishing Architecture of the West by Woodhall and Watkins. The book is still readily found online for a very reasonable price today. I retain the article's gas station name of Wizard Oil since it added so much to the model's interest factor. I pieced all of the red lettering of Wizard Oil and the Ace Motors on the front side with dry transfer letters from Woodland Scenics and other sources. The article's author found the Wizard Oil letters on the Clover House website. I have used many Clover House dry transfer sets for numerous vintage freight cars, such as this one. The gas station was made out of a pair of Campbell's wood kits. Assay Office and Clothing Store, kit number 431. The article's plans show the depth of the station to be about 30 feet 6 inches, but I reduced this dimension when I built it back in 1988 as a model diorama to fit into a display case, long before I finally built this layout in 2009. My model shows a second business of Ace Motors, who could have been an expert in radiator repair and fixing old Ford flathead V8 motors in a cramped little space. Here's a look at the details of the backside. The roofing is Campbell's corrugated sheet metal, and notice the angled bracing of the tall front facade and to the sign to the far right side of the roof. The trailer behind the station was a nice one I found in the Walthers catalog of an early Airstream trailer. This is where the business owner likely lives. I added a small LED white light inside, as well as a light behind the two gas pumps to aid refueling in darkness. These 3 tanks are raised so gravity can feed the pumps. It's much like large farms that have above-ground raised gravity fuel tanks from companies like JME sells today. Back when rules were easier, some businesses made their own above-ground tanks from surplus materials. Here are some other views of how this scene was set up. Notice that the Airstream trailer sits on a concrete slab as a permanent location. This end of the town scene also has a hay dealer's lot next door, made from a BTS, better than scratch, laser kit called Anderson Pulpwood Yard. It looked like a great fit to make a hay dealer's office. It comes with a tool shed. I added stacked hay bales and I built an open wall shed to keep some of the hay dry. Behind the shed area is a small loading ramp on a spur to load hay bales that are off to the feed pens where cattle will replace the hay bales that will now feed the next group of incoming cattle from the range. Here are a few more views of the hay lot that every rural town would have. Well, I thought a rural gas station at the edge of a small town would look good next to a hay dealer's lot to better establish a credible connection. And the hay lot gave a reason for a loading spur, all in a limited space. And by the way, even into the 1980s, there were freight cars loaded with hay in the Imperial Valley to export in cargo containers. So look into our YouTube channel and our CSPmovies.com website often for lots of new model railroad and prototype content. Be sure to subscribe and like. Thanks for watching, and do comment on your own projects and ideas.